Welcome into Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee. It's the show that highlights Giles, Lawrence, and Maury counties from the pages of your local newspapers. I'm Scott Stewart, publisher of your local newspapers, the Pulaski Citizen, Main Street Maury, and the Lawrence County Advocate. Christmas is right around the corner, guys, and I wanted to remind our viewers and our readers that a subscription to your community newspaper is a great Christmas gift that just keeps on coming 52 weeks out of the year. So consider sharing the gift of community news, sports, and information with friends and family this year by giving them a subscription to their community newspaper. You can call 931-363-3544. You can call 615-452-4940 or 931-762-1726 or visit any of these websites, PulaskiCitizen.com, MainStreetMurray.com, LawrenceCountyAdvocate.net. Any of those websites, any of those phone numbers will get you hooked up with a subscription, either traditional or online, and also it will allow you to sign up someone as a gift. All right, well, now let's get our weekly wrap started, and we're going to start this week with the Pulaski Citizen. Pulaski Citizen Wrap this week starts with Citizen Spotlight Gideon Hastings, who graces the spot of honor at the top and center of the front page of this week's edition. Also on the front page this week is new information that a man charged with murder in Giles County has also been charged with murder in Georgia. And the Giles County Sheriff's Department is offering safe rides home this holiday season. The Pulaski Citizen has a live stream going 24/7 out at the skating rink here in downtown Pulaski on the Pulaski Square. Linville has hired a new police chief, and we've got a photo from the Giles County Trail of Trees that remains open for tours this weekend. Also inside, Mingle Jingle kicked off the Christmas season with festivities and the lighting of the county Christmas tree and the courthouse last week. It's Realtors Week, so make sure you don't miss the properties that are up for sale here in Giles County. And I'm proud to stand here today and announce to you that for at least one edition of the Pulaski Citizen, the Danticleer is back. And I want to personally welcome back Irving Fowler with the Danticleer. It was so great to have the Danticleer column back in our paper, and I hope you enjoy it just as much as I do. Ham radio testing is coming to Giles County. Trey Donovan shares his favorite Christmas gift. Safety with space heaters is extremely important this time of year, and the Giles County Emergency Services has some tips for us in the paper this week. Jaden is our GCHA Pet of the Week. We've got the State Beta Club members from Richland who attended the state convention in Nashville. There's also the Southside December Student of the Month and the Richland November Students of the Month. And as always, the Pulaski Citizen has obituary notices, court docket, property transfers, government public notices, backward glances, fun and games, church directory, community briefs, Tennessee Valley weather, and church briefs. All of that. And now here's Wade Neely with sports.
What's up, folks? Wade Neely here, sports editor at the Pulaski Citizen. Time now for a look at what's in print and what's online for the December 11th, 2024 edition of the Pulaski Citizen sports page. If you want basketball coverage, you have come to the right place. We have not one, not two, not three, but four. Four previews of all of our area basketball teams. Our special edition, we do it every December, and the season has already started, but this is a preview of a recap of where we've been thus far and what's ahead as we get ready for district play for all of our Lady Bobcat, Lady Raider, Bobcat Raider squads. And so we begin with the Richland Lady Raiders, who are our feature program this year. They look to make noise here in 2025. They've got all the talent. They've got a hard schedule. They've got a seasoned roster. All of that should factor under veteran head coach Chad Hall, as Richland will look to try and make it a little further, a little deeper, maybe even all the way to Murfreesboro to the state tournament this year. Make sure you check that out. We've got some great artwork courtesy of our good friend Amy Warren Bass, as Shelby Higgins and Caitlin Bass are your two dynamic seniors this year for the Lady Raiders, but they're not the only ones on this year's squad. Look out for the names like Bailey Blair, Mary Avery McNeese, Mary Catherine Butler, Kylie Hall. This is a loaded Richland Lady Raider squad. Yes, everybody's going to focus on Higgins, who's a Division II signee. signing a couple weeks ago to play at the University of Virginia Wise up in the Commonwealth there. But she's going to get a lot of attention, but this is a very deep, a very explosive Lady Raider squad that already has a couple of key wins in 2024, including a nice win, the first ever victory by an opponent at Loretto versus the Lady Mustangs in their new gym, which was renovated last year. So Richland kind of already off to a great start this year. That's kind of a recap of where we've been, but we also break down what's ahead as they get ready to tip into district play in 2025. Kind of the same script for Giles County, and their Lady Bobcats are also on the front page this week. Help is on the way. That was kind of the message for Fred Steger when he took the job as Giles County girls basketball coach last summer. Man, he really, and the Lady Bobcats really struggled at times in 23-24, but help is on the way, and help has now finally arrived. They have a loaded freshman class, and they have sophomores, juniors, and now seniors that have a lot of experience after taking those lumps the last couple of seasons. And all of that, Giles County has already eclipsed its win total from all of last season, and we're not even to Christmas yet. So Giles County is playing well. They've got a very youthful roster, but they do have some senior and junior pieces that could help them go a long way. Carson Brown, Kaya Gibson are a couple of those seniors. You also have Lily Reed, who is kind of a unique player for Giles County. She is still in need of some seasoning, but she's 6 foot plus, folks, and you can't teach that. And she provides kind of a matchup nightmare for Giles County when they look to put the clamps down on the defensive end of the ball. You also have Katie Pipkins, Zakiah Bird, and then you have other up-and-coming players, Kinsley Morris and Ashlyn Coleman, who are the sophomore class in earnest there for Giles County. But you've got Jaylee Hicks, you've got Mariah Holt. You have a number of freshmen who are going to make a big impact and already have made a big impact for the Lady Bobcats this season. Flipping on to our next page here, Giles County and Richland boys basketball both figure to have another strong season. We start with the Raiders. They are a deep squad. They lost a lot. In terms of Gage Kirk, 6'6", the big man is gone from Richland, but in his stead, Richland returns a lot of height in its own right, as Luke Jones is 6'3", Cade McCormick is 6'3" as well, but they also return a lot of talent as guys like Carter Edwards and some others, Cooper Jackson and a bevy of Raiders, Andrew Huff included, will all look to help bolster the load under head coach Jason Lovelace. On our final recap, it'll be Giles County looking to kind of get back to good. Man, they lost a lot of heartbreakers last year. They played 13 games that were decided by 5 points or less a year ago, and they only won 6 of those games. If you flip those 7 losses in a few key situations into wins, Giles County probably finishes much, much higher in the district standings. Giles County maybe goes on a deep postseason run. But as such, it was kind of frustrating last year for Giles County. They're going to look to turn those close losses into bigger wins this year. They do have a couple of nice seniors on the squad, Jakiah Inglet and Latarius Brewer leading the charge for GCHS. 2 different types of game, but they both are capable of making shots from the perimeter. Both are capable of handling the ball, and the big man, Jakiah Inglet, is capable of bruising down low when you need him. That should free up some lanes for Kason Howard and Damari Holt, who are 2 outstanding sophomores for Giles County, as they have a fun roster composition heading into 2024. So 4 big previews. We also get you prepped for district schedule, and we will broadcast each and every single district ball game as part of our Pulaski Citizen Live coverage once the calendar flips into 25. We're doing a select number of games in December, but make sure you stay with us into January as we bring you all of the district action. Speaking of bringing you the action, $1,400 could be in your pocket if you pick perfect in this week's Fearless Forecasters. Nobody went undefeated, and as a result, the jackpot climbs by $100. We're up to $1,400. Ronald Story was our winner last week, one of 2 that missed 3 ball games. So nobody really got close to our jackpot. As it was a rough week. Our publisher, Scott Stewart, he prides himself on picking some of these obscure games down the stretch, and he got a lot of folks, myself included. I picked all of the Division I games pretty well, but I didn't do so hot on the D2 or FCS level. Looking at you, Lehigh, looking at you, Villanova, cost me down the stretch there, but I digress. 10-6 I go. That means I fall back to third place. Kerry J. Malone has got me by a game in second, and Mark Mize has me by 5 games up in first. So we're all trailing Mark. And again, you can pick each and every single week. If you don't go perfect, you win a $50 gift card courtesy of our friends at First American Filling Station, and they will get you fixed up headed into 2025. That's all the time we've got here. Again, we have a jam-packed edition, all basketball themed this week, but you never know what's going to be in print, and you never know what's going to be online. So make sure you keep tabs at PulaskiCitizen.com for the rest of this week and beyond. That's a look at the December 11th, 2024 edition of the PC Sports Page. I'm Wade Neely saying so long. We will see you next time here on Mornings on Main Street.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily, as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Well, we went all out for you this year, didn't we, little girl? Yep, we got you what you wanted with all the bells and whistles.
A brand new car?
Let's go check it out. Come on. We're here.
Oh my gosh, we're going to the garage. I got a car.
Yep, let's get in here. Let me show you what's going on.
Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Duggar, got your 18 SEER heat pump with your ultraviolet home treatment system.
I cannot believe it. Thank you.
Yes! Give the gift of clean air this year. Merry Christmas from the Busy Bee family.
He shoots, and he scores!
This holiday season, the largest lantern festival in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. Experience more than 1,000 all-new, handcrafted lanterns, towering creatures, magical worlds, and a North Pole village. At the center of it all, the Smashville Ice Rink. Welcome back to Zoolumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Step into the Lionel retail store at Opry Mills, Nashville, and you'll be captivated by all the magic of the 123-year history of Lionel trains. Whether you're already a train enthusiast or just getting started, Lionel will energize your love for trains. NASCAR fan? Come check out your local Lionel station to learn all there is to know about model trains and die-cast NASCAR collectibles. Visit nashville.lionel.com or call 615-455-9399.
So the Lawrence County Advocate is packed again this week. We got so much stuff again that we had to push a lot of it to next week, which is a really good problem to have. Well, the newspaper isn't all that is packed. Lawrence County schools are starting to get that way as well. And Director of Schools, Michael Atkins, has reached out with a message to parents and school personnel outlining a plan that the school system has for overcrowding at Summertown Elementary School. And that starts our Lawrence County Advocate wrap this week right there at the top of the front page. Also on page 1 are the details of the St. Joseph Christmas Parade December 15th. There's an article on the death of County Commissioner Roy Hagan on the front page, and there's also a tribute by County Executive David Morgan inside this week's edition. Sandy Mashburn tells us about the County Commission approving a contribution to the efforts to restore the West Gaines School, and Carrie Staggs has a front page article on a new nonprofit group geared toward moms meeting community needs. It's a pretty neat group, pretty neat story right there on the front page. Inside, the wonderful cause Santa for Seniors Drive is in desperate need of donations this year. They've got a lot of need to fill for seniors who can't get out and do for themselves, who may get left out this Christmas season without the things, the items that they donate, that are donated and given to them every year. If you're able to pull together some funds or some of the items that they're looking for, they would really appreciate if you reach out to help Lawrence County seniors through the Center for Seniors Drive. We've got an article about that inside this week, and you can find out how to get in touch with those folks. Letters for Santa drop-off at the Lawrenceburg PD are due by December 18th if you want Santa to get them. So you need to get those letters to Santa dropped off at the Lawrenceburg Police Department by December 18th. The City of Etheridge has approved repairs to the tornado siren there, and a recent fire is believed to have been sparked by a heater, and that goes back to the Pulaski Citizen, where we were talking about the tips on space heater safety. Make sure you check out that in the Pulaski Citizen. And just in general, everybody needs to be safe with the cold weather sitting upon us as far as those heaters go. Sharpay is the Doggy House Pet of the Week. A propane tanker overturned in Lawrenceburg recently. Thousands of Operation Christmas Child gifts were collected and shipped out. The shelter is in need of gift card donations. Trey Donovan shares his favorite Christmas gift. And as always, Lawrence County Advocate has local obituaries, local community announcements, government notices, auctions and estate sales, puzzles, the forecast from Tennessee Valley Weather, and the local church directory. In sports, the teams from Richland visited Loretto last week, and with all 4 teams ranked in the Basketball Coaches Association of Tennessee preseason poll, you can imagine that they had a couple of great ball games. The Lady Mustangs fell to the Lady Raiders in an overtime classic, and the Mustangs pulled away from a pesky bunch of Raiders late to split the night between the two schools. Lawrence County traveled to Columbia last week with the Wildcats going cold from the floor and falling to the lines, while the Lady Cats were hot from the field, and they got the win. And Summertown's boys and girls got big wins at Perry County. So there's just one more game remaining this week for local high school teams as Lawrence County plays host to Columbia Central Friday evening. Next week, Loretto travels to Moore County on Monday. Tuesday, Summertown hosts Spring Hill, and Lawrence County travels to Lincoln County. December 20th, Summertown hosts Creekwood, and December 21st, Lawrence County hosts Richland, and Summertown travels to Giles County. Well, that's it for the Lawrence County Advocate this week. Make sure you get your copy wherever you can. Markets all across the state, all across the county, and you can get a subscription by calling 931-762-1726. And we'll be right back after this.
Step into the Lionel retail store at Opry Mills, Nashville, and you'll be captivated by all the magic of the 123-year history of Lionel trains. Whether you're already a train enthusiast or just getting started, Lionel will energize your love for trains. NASCAR fan? Come check out your local Lionel station to learn all there is to know about model trains and die-cast NASCAR collectibles. Visit nashville.lionel.com or call 615-455-9399.
Well, we went all out for you this year, didn't we, little girl? Yep, we got you what you wanted with all the bells and whistles.
A brand new car?
Let's go check it out. Come on. We're here.
Oh my gosh, we're going to the garage. I got a car.
Yep, let's get in here. Let me show you what's going on.
Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Duggar, got your 18 series heat pump with the ultraviolet home treatment system.
I cannot believe it. Thank you.
Yes! Give the gift of clean air this year. Merry Christmas from the Busy Bee family.
This holiday season, the largest lantern festival in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. Experience more than 1,000 all-new, handcrafted lanterns, towering creatures, magical worlds, and a North Pole village. At the center of it all, the Smashville Ice Rink. Welcome back to Zoolumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Hello folks, this is your dedicated Columbia reporter for Main Street Maury, Andrew Pearson, and this is the wrap for our December 11th issue. On our front page, the Friend Foundation and other homeless help organizations are looking to the city or the county government to help lead the existing efforts to get and keep people off the streets. Bethany Chirino of the Friend Foundation says that all it would take for now is an authoritative body to coordinate the work of the NGOs and welfare agencies already working on the homeless problem. The Friend Foundation's most urgent current project is to raise money to house homeless people on sub-freezing nights. You can make a donation at the PayPal link in the story of the print or online editions. The Maury County Commission passed a resolution last Monday making 1 acre the new minimum size for rural residential lots. The commissioners also discussed what they perceived as the problem of the city of Columbia annexing rural lots, which Columbia denies is a real problem. The county commissioners concluded that they had to, quote, come to the table, end quote, with the leaders of their cities to plan Maury County's future in the face of explosive growth. Columbia's Planning Commission made several important amendments to its zoning ordinance on Wednesday night, or at least they recommended them to the January session of the City Council. They voted to allow short-term rentals in most of the city with either simple permits or approval from the Board of Zoning Appeals. They also defined the zoning for cannabis, tobacco, and vape shops, instituted a permit system for home businesses, and plan to revisit the restrictions on bars and taverns in the Arts District. And finally, in Spring Hill, the 307th Bombardment Group Association gave a presentation last month on Project Recover. The 307th Association is a historical association run out of Spring Hill by Jim Walsh and facilitates friendships and camaraderie among veterans of all wars. They encourage veterans and their families to join the association and come to meetings. On the other pages, the Boys and Girls Club of South Central Tennessee has started a scholarship fund in the memory of one of its founders, John Cheers Porter. A former broadband technician at Columbia Power and Water has been fired and indicted for stealing almost $2,000 worth of gasoline on his work fuel card. Patton Manufacturing has plans to build a $10 million container facility in Mount Pleasant, container factory, in Mount Pleasant, creating 35 new skilled jobs. Maury Regional Medical Center has received an award from the Joint Commission for the quality of its perinatal care. The Grecian Restaurant in Spring Hill continues to be recognized for donating 1,000 Thanksgiving dinners this year to those in need. Representative Scott Stewart has introduced a bill that would allow high school athletes to immediately join the sports team upon transferring to a different school. Maury County EMS Lieutenant Bailey Simmons received an award for leading classes on life-saving emergency techniques, and the county finally held a ceremony dedicating a bridge over Cathy's Creek to John Andrew Booker, a model citizen of the town of Hampshire. As usual, we have sports in the B section and public notices and entertainment in the C pages. I'm about 2/3 of the way through the crossword puzzle. It's kind of a doozy this week. Pick up a copy today and see what we've got to offer at Main Street Maury. For sports, we go to Maurice Patton.
Hey, I'm Maurice Patton, sports editor at Main Street Maury. This week's print edition of the paper, the December 11th print edition of the paper, includes coverage of Columbia Academy's first Blue Cross Bowl high school football state championship appearance and its unfortunate outcome as the Bulldogs fell to Nashville Christian 49-21 in the Division 2A title game on Thursday down at Chattanooga's Finley Field. Wall-to-wall coverage of that. Also, the final tally for Nostradamus. It was not a good weekend in Chattanooga for Nostradamus, and we will leave it at that, but we'll let you check the print edition to see just how bad it was. Jaravius Hall, Columbia Central defensive lineman, made it official after committing to Indiana University over the summer. Hall signed with the Hoosiers on the first day of the December recruiting period. We've got coverage of that. Also, there is an All-American in our midst here in Maury County. Abigail Alexander, who was previously named the TCCAA Region 7 Player of the Year for women's soccer, adds NJCAA First Team All-American to her resume. We've got coverage of that honor, the first in Lady Charger women's soccer history. We were on hand for the first Spring Hill Battle Creek boys and girls basketball matchup at Battle Creek. You can see how that went. We were also on hand for a high school basketball matchup between neighbors Hampshire and Mount Pleasant. And you know what they say about familiarity breeding contempt? Well, check out the print edition for more on that. Coverage, we've got box scores and this week's schedule. High school basketball box scores from last week's schedule for this week. We've also got coverage of Alden Slaughter from Santa Fe making his collegiate decision. Coverage again of that in print edition, and a coaching change out at Zion Christian with its football program. So be sure and check all that out in the print edition of Main Street Maury. We've also got in the Red Zone Rundown final season stats for offensive players in the area, so you can consult and see what's your favorite player do for the year. Between now and next week's print edition, the December 18th edition, what have we got? Oh, I had notes somewhere, but we've got a lot of high school basketball coming up. We will be out in gyms this week, and you can check out mainstreetmaury.com. And in next week's print edition for coverage of local high school basketball, we'll also be traveling up to Clarksville this weekend, hopefully, for the TACA East-West All-Star Classic, as we've got a couple of players involved in that. The aforementioned Jaravius Hall and Summit's Mekhi Bell will both be playing in that game. So we'll have coverage of that, again, both on the website, mainstreetmaury.com, and in next week's print edition. So be sure and check us out. In print now, in print next week, on the website in between at mainstreetmaury.com. I'm Maurice Patton, sports editor at Main Street Maury. We'll see y'all next week.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather on Main Street.
Happy Wednesday. I'm Kelly Rawson in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. We are off to a very cold start. Temperatures in the upper 20s to lower 30s, eventually warming up into the mid 30s by mid-morning and mid 40s at warmest. So much chillier compared to yesterday. However, we are going to stay dry with a lot more sunshine than we've seen over the last few days. But we have high pressure moving in, so we stay dry for the rest of today as well as for the next few days. Expect nice and calm, pleasant weather, but just a little bit on the chilly side. Here's a look at what you can expect over the next few days. For your Thursday and Friday, we are looking nice and mostly sunny as temperatures eventually warm back into the 50s for your Friday, and then we are going to stay parked in the 50s for Saturday as rain does return to southern middle Tennessee. Shower chances do continue on Sunday and into Monday as well.
Well, that's it for this week's Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee. Make sure you get a copy of your local newspaper online or a traditional newspaper so that you don't miss a minute of local news, sports, and information that we've got lined up for you each and every week. For more information on subscribing to any of our local newspapers, visit mainstreetmediatn.com. That's mainstreetmediatn.com. Again, thank you for trusting us as your source for local news, information, and sports. And good Lord willing, we'll be right back here next week with Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee.